Imagine an empire so powerful that it controlled vast lands from Britain to Egypt. Now, imagine that same empire, Rome, thrown into chaos, where in just 1 year 5 men claimed the imperial throne. Welcome to 1993 AD, a year of unprecedented turmoil, betrayal and bloodshed, known as the Year of the 5 Emperors. But how did the mightiest empire in the ancient world fall into such disorder? And what were the fates of these 5 emperors who battled for supreme power? Stay with me as we dive into the violent political maelstrom that tore Rome apart and discover how this singular year changed the course of Roman history. The story begins with the assassination of Commodus, the son of the esteemed emperor Marcus Aurelius. Commodus had ruled with madness and cruelty, obsessed with his image as a gladiator rather than the stability of the empire. By the end of 192 AD, his erratic behavior and tyrannical rule had alienated the Senate, the people, and even his own advisors. On New Year's Eve of 192 AD, a conspiracy involving his closest confidants, including his mistress and head of the Praetorian Guard, led to his assassination. The once great empire was suddenly without an emperor. In this vacuum, Rome was about to be plunged into a year of chaos. The conspirators quickly elevated Pertinax, a respected senator and former general, to the throne. Pertinax had the right credentials: disciplined, competent, and committed to restoring order after Commodus's reign. But the empire he inherited was deeply fractured, with the military, senate, and common people all pulling in different directions. Pertinax had barely 3 months to enact reforms before his downfall. His attempt to curtail the excesses of the Praetorian Guard, the very people who had placed him on the throne, led to his demise. In March 193, the Praetorian Guard, enraged by his financial reforms, stormed the palace and murdered him. Rome had lost its emperor again. What happened next stunned the Roman world. After killing Pertinax, the Praetorian Guard did the unthinkable. They auctioned off the Roman Empire to the highest bidder. A wealthy senator, Didius Julianus, won the auction by offering an outrageous sum to the guards. Rome now had an emperor who had literally bought the throne, but Julianus was no leader. The people of Rome were furious, seeing him as an opportunistic ruler with no legitimate claim to the throne. Outside of Rome, rival generals sensed weakness and began mobilizing their forces, determined to take the empire by force. In the provinces, 3 powerful men saw this as their moment: Pescennius Niger, governor of Syria; Clodius Albinus, governor of Britain; and Septimius Severus, governor of Pannonia. Each believed they had the right to rule, and each was preparing to march on Rome. Act 3, the rise of Septimius Severus, the empire at war. Septimius Severus, a cunning and experienced general, moved quickly. Unlike the others, he had the full support of his legions, and his military prowess was unmatched. In April 193, Severus declared himself emperor, sending shockwaves through Rome. As he marched toward the city, the Senate, realizing the inevitability of Severus's victory, abandoned Julianus. By June 193, Julianus was executed after a brief and humiliating reign, and Severus entered Rome as the new emperor. But his rule was far from secure. To the east, Pescennius Niger had declared himself emperor, gathering an army in the wealthy and strategic province of Syria. Meanwhile, in the west, Clodius Albinus, a powerful governor in Britain, had also laid claim to the throne. What followed was a brutal civil war that would pit these 3 rivals against each other for control of the empire. Act 4, the Civil War. Severus crushes his rivals. Septimius Severus knew that to secure his power, he had to eliminate his rivals. His first target was Pescennius Niger. In late 193 AD, Severus led his legions eastward into Syria. The 2 forces clashed in a series of brutal battles, culminating in the Battle of Issus in 194 AD, on the same battlefield where Alexander the Great had once triumphed. Severus's legions crushed Niger's forces, and Niger was captured and executed. With the eastern provinces secured, Severus turned his attention westward. By 196 AD, Severus had to confront Clodius Albinus in Britain, who had declared himself emperor and raised a formidable army. The 2 men met in a final showdown at the Battle of Lugdunum in modern Lyon, in Gaul. This was one of the largest and bloodiest battles in Roman history. After a long and hard-fought struggle, Severus emerged victorious. Albinus was killed and Severus's dominance over the empire was complete. Act 5, the Severan Dynasty, a new order. With his rivals defeated, Septimius Severus established the Severan Dynasty, bringing an end to the chaos of 193 AD. He ruled for nearly 2 decades, stabilizing the empire, reforming the military, and solidifying his family's grip on power. However, the instability of the Year of the Five Emperors left a lasting impact on the Roman Empire. The events of that year exposed the fragility of Roman rule, where power could shift rapidly, not through succession or merit, but through violence and intrigue. It was a dark chapter in Roman history, but it paved the way for the Severan Dynasty, which would hold the throne for several decades. Conclusion: why the Year of the Five Emperors matters. The Year of the Five Emperors is a stark reminder of how even the most powerful empires can be brought to the brink of collapse by internal strife. It was a year that saw Rome's emperors rise and fall at an unprecedented pace, and it showed how quickly the empire could descend into chaos when ambition, betrayal, and violence ruled the day. Septimius Severus's victory brought temporary stability, but the seeds of further instability had been planted. Rome would never again be the same, and the lessons of 193 AD would echo throughout its history. Want to learn about more turbulent times in empire history? Check out our previous video on what was the worst Byzantine dynasty. Find out how the Byzantine Empire nearly collapsed under corrupt and ineffective rulers. Click the link and continue your journey through history's darkest moments.